Know your place. Seek my attention at your peril. Your limitations will be your downfall. Don't worry, I'm not finished yet.
Hey guys, welcome back. We are playing Camille top today, another S tier top laner in this current meta. She is one of the best split pushers in the game right now. You want to start with your W. We are playing against the J, so it's gonna give us some sustain, and then if necessary we can also use that to farm with. So since that W can heal you, you want to make sure that before you use it, you want to let the enemy champion auto attack you once, and then you use it because you will get some of the HP back and he will also take damage. And then he will take even more damage because the minions will also aggro onto him. And if you see what I did right there, I intentionally walked up so he could auto attack me. And then I used the W to heal back up. And he was also taking damage from the 3 caster minions. So that's how you want it. So if possible, make sure that you lose a bit of HP first. You can engage when we have E level 2 here. That is especially good in this matchup against the Jace. We have that to gap close with. When you pick Camille guys, you are playing for that mid and late game, but with Grasp, you can also have a really strong early game. So that's why this keystone is used almost every single game in high elo. Pretty much every single game by Camille mains as well. Because it solves her biggest problem is that she has a very weak early game. And with this Grasp setup, then you can easily get through it. Remember to use your Q as an auto attack reset. You can do that twice. And it's very important that when you have your E up, you try to hug the walls guys, because that way your E animation is a lot faster. Because you don't have to travel as far with the first cast of your E, so it's very easy to get a hit with that E if you hug a wall. So try to do that at all times, but of course also watch out for the enemy jungler. Because if you're pushed this far up, then you're also pretty easy to gank. We can see that the skull crab is up, so he must be somewhere in the top side. We have Sensao in the bottom side. When you go for trades though, try to get that Grasp proc ready. And then you can go in with your E. You can also get your Q ready if you want to. A lot of the times in the early game though, you don't really always get that true damage part of your Q off. You just use it as a quick double auto attack reset and then you just back off. If you get a really fast trade off though, then you are going to win it against the Jace for sure. Because you also have that passive shield, so it is going to help you out a lot. Yeah, we were chasing a bit too far right here, so of course that ended up backfiring. We should just have let him go after his flash was down. Of course it is a Lee Sin. It's very strong in the early game. Of course Jace is also really strong because he has a ranged form and a melee form, so he has more objectives. And we ended up trading 1 for 1. That's actually fine because I do have the teleport up, so we are not going to lose every single minion here. Now we have the Shin guys, and what's very important about this item is that you have to try to combine this with the true damage you get from your Q. Because that damage will add up and you can turn all of that Shin damage into true damage later on. You just try to play around the timer on the Shin. And then use the second part of your Q once it's ready, and then you get a lot of free bonus true damage off. We do have the ultimate up now though, so we can go for place. This is usually the point where you can call for your jungler and set up a free kill, because it's impossible to escape from your ultimate. That was a really good trade. As you can see, we do have the shield bash, we also have the grasp. So we are able to chunk him for a lot. Actually we messed up right here. Didn't get that auto attack reset off. And as you can see, it really does a pretty... it gives you a pretty big advantage if you're able to do that properly. I messed it up right here, so that's why he survived with barely any HP. He also has that lethality items, of course. He does have a lot of damage at this point, but if I played it properly, then that would have been a really easy kill. But typically in the early game though, you don't have that much consistent damage. You have to play around that burst on your Q, so whenever it is up, your grasp is up, your passive is up, then you can go in for a quick trade with that E into auto attack into second part of your Q, and then you back off. And if it's necessary, you can also use that W to slow them.
Another step on the march of progress.
You try to go for short trades like this, and then once you see their low HP, that's when you can go in and go for the kill with your ultimate, or just go all in with everything you have. Especially that Q, because it gives you that double auto attack reset. You can take down wards really fast, so you can actually take them down already at level 1 before they go invisible. So if you see somebody warding a brush you are standing inside, then you can use that quick double Q reset, and then you can take it down really fast. We just have to stay back here. We do see the jungler in the mid lane, so we can actually engage onto him if we want to. Just make sure to play around the grasp, the shield bash in the runes, and then the passive as well. We have to make sure that we dodge his Q, the shock blast, because that's where a lot of his damage is at. Especially if he makes it pass through the E, because then it's very hard to dodge. So we have to stay behind the minions when possible. Just like this, so he doesn't hit us. This was a really good trade, and this is how you want to play it properly. I messed it up early on, but this turned out to be much better. Hug the walls whenever possible, because it makes it harder for the opponent to escape your E. The animation comes out much faster, so they need to have extremely good reaction time.
Fear sharpens every blade.
And if it is a smart opponent, then of course they're also going to back up a bit when you hug the walls, because they know that E will come at some point, and your jungler could also be there, so people will start respecting you more if you play properly around the walls. We can just go ahead and recall here. We are sitting on a lot of gold.
Go first, lest you be deemed worthless.
Of course, Divine Sunderer is the meta item right now, guys, but personally I think that Trinity Force feels a lot better on Camille because she also gets some attack speed, but right now that item is really bad. And at the same time, Divine Sunderer is so OP, so that's why this is the item you should be going for every single game until it either gets nerfed or Trinity Force gets buffed. Because right now Trinity Force has really awful stats. But if these items are equally good, then I would always go for the Trinity Force because it just feels a lot better on this champ. Oh, he cancelled my E right there. Of course, that's a really nice play. That's also something you can do. If he does that in the lane, then he's gonna chunk you for most of your HP because you don't have any gap closer anymore and you also can't escape. Just have to play around the ultimate when it's up, that's when we can look for kills, so just go for short trades. If it's like half HP, did not have to flash right there. I think I was thought I was out of range for a bit and then ended up flashing, but we got the kill anyway, so that's fine. Sucks a bit that we lost the flash though, but it's not too bad because we got the gold, so once we recall we have enough for the Divine Sunderer. There's a 2-man gank coming in top side. Problem is, it is very hard to escape Lee Sin though, especially in his own jungle. We also lost that flash, so maybe if I didn't use it back then maybe I could have escaped. But we can go ahead and sell the refillable potion and then we have enough for this item here. And when you play Camille, you play for that 2-item power spike, so you get that Divine Sunderer and then maybe one more item like the Ravenous Hunter. Once you have that, that's when you want to start carrying the game. That's when you start to take over the game by yourself. Divine Sunderer is already a massive power spike. Once you have the Ravenous Hunter, then you also have some wave clear in that passive. And you also have sustain, of course. That's insane trade. As you can see, he lost way more than half his HP just from a single quick trade. And this is already a lane you're going to outscale really hard. Jace is an early game lane bully. So when you play against the Jace, you just have to stall it out. He doesn't have a combat ultimate, because he's a transforming type champion. I don't know why Victor is top once more, but we could actually easily go for the kill if he tried to chase us, because our ultimate was coming up. Also, another important thing with the ultimate, guys, is that you go untargetable for short duration when you use it, so it can be very good to use when you want to dodge a crucial skill shot. If there's an ultimate coming in, or if they're about to use DC or anything, then you can use that to dodge it with and then also lock down the target. And if they're channeling like that Victor teleport early on, then if you use that ultimate, then you can also shut that down. Your E also works for that if you hit them with it, of course, but you have multiple ways of shutting somebody down. It looked like he was trying to freeze it, but he does not have enough minions. That is not enough at all to maintain that freeze. So we can just wait here for a bit. If we can hit him with a W. Missed it. Sucks a bit, because otherwise we would have gotten some HP back. Go. Of course, this champion starts snowballing really hard if you pick up a few kills. And there is no counterplay to true damage. The only thing you can do against true damage is build HP. That's like the counter to it. It's not a hard counter, but of course armor and magic resistance does not work, so the only thing you can do is build HP. And Jace is a carry, so he's not going to build tanky at any point. He can build items like the cleaver, but he will never be tanky. My mid lane and bottom lane getting stumped, but it does not matter cause we are playing Camille. Super mobile, late game scaling, split pusher, so we can pretty much one-shot the entire team. Once we get our items, guys, we already have the Divine Sundra and we also have a lot of gold right now, so we want to build the components towards the Ravenous. Get this item and then it's going to be really fun. But now we have some wave clear as well, so it's not going to take ages before we can actually push out each wave. We can just start roaming right now. Of course, we don't want to AFK top the entire game. We took down the tower, so now we can use that ultimate to our advantage. Maybe pick up a kill here and there and then try to get back into the game with our team. Lux Flies is down, so that's fine. They are both very squishy. They are super fed right now, but they are also super squishy. So if I catch somebody with that ultimate, then I'm going to win that fight 100%. And as the game progresses, then the ultimate will also end up, or my Q will also end up one-shotting them. See, I use that ultimate right here to deny that CC he gets from his W. But that nice Q2 flashed and then E onto Ashe, and that ended up in a pretty nice double kill. Now once we get into the base, we will have enough gold for the second super important item. Gonna give us a lot of damage, really nice wave clear, and of course also sustain. So we can just keep roaming now if we want to, but we can also go to the side lane because our teleport is coming back up. Because we also want to be in the side lane because we need to constantly pick up CS and farm and XP. Otherwise we will also end up falling behind because we can't really be mid and share the golden XP. As you can see, Lux just went down just like that. So even if they're super fed, you still have a chance because they go down so fast. You can see Camille has insane carry potential, guys. Our entire team was losing here, but we are still able to turn it around because that's what Camille can do. We could have ulted onto the Lee Sin right there before he got that ultimate off, but I did not know if he had it up or not, because I did not want to waste my ultimate for no reason. You can also stay in the side lane for longer now, even if you're low HP, because you do have some sustain with the Ravenous Hunter, so that's always nice to have. You can also take away the jungle camps if you don't have anything else to do. If I walk top right now, guys, then their entire team would see it and then they will probably try to collapse onto me, so that's why I just pushed out top and then I'm taking away the golems. At this point you can actually build the hull breaker if you want to. But the thing is, I have a lot of damage. I'm also super fed, so I have a bounty on me. So I want to get the Sterox gauge because it helps with the survivability and it also gives us some damage. But once we have this item, then we're also able to tank more damage, so we can actually frontline for our team. And I also have a bunch of champions with a lot of burst damage. They have Victor, they have Lux, they have Lee Sin, so, and also Jace, so that Sterak's Gauge is actually going to be really useful. This is a very bad fight to take, so we just have to get out. Exhaust does absolutely nothing against true damage. It looked like my Q barely dealt any damage, but I think that's because he got his W up right before it hit. But this champion is so extremely good at kiting people, as you can see. He has like every single thing you need from a split pusher. She's mobile, she's extremely strong in a 1 vs 1, she has good wave clear once you have the Ravenous Hunter. Super strong at shutting down people with that ultimate, so it is a split pusher that's super strong in 1 vs 1. But compared to a lot of other split pushers who are also weak in teamfights, Camille is actually really good. So it's a champion that has a bit of everything, and that's why she's so good. The only thing you have to be really good at is getting through the rough early game. And it's not even that hard anymore, because if you go for grasp, then everything is going to be so much easier. We got the Sterak's Gauge, so we are a lot more tankier. Even though we don't really have any defensive item, we have a lot of HP. And we also get that shield from that item if we get bursted down. Then we just go straight for Guardian Angel once we have enough gold, and then we are pretty much a tank, but with insane true damage. Not going to waste my flash anymore, cause every basic ability is on such a low cooldown. So even if I miss my E, then I still have it up almost instantly. Just picking people apart here. They're not able to do anything when you play against the fit Camille, because she is so mobile that you can't really escape even if you have your flash up. We can just go mid here, clean up, and if we manage to do that, then we can also turn that into a Baron, and then we can use that to break open the base with and go for the end. Oh, that E miss right there, that was really bad. That is going to happen sometimes if you overestimate the range of it. Ultimate is not up quite yet. And now we need to kite back because there's a teleport coming in. That's a really nice E2 into flash. 1 Q2 just straight up one-shotter. And then we can use that ultimate to lock down Victor, and he flashed while I was ulting on top of him, so he got caught in that ult still. He's also going down. And now the main carries are down, guys, so this should be a pretty easy fight for us. And just like that, we got to clean up, so now we can go for the Baron, and then we use that to end the game with. True damage is always useful against pretty much every single thing, especially Barons and, you know, objectives. We can also recall now, get the Guardian Angel, so now we are a tank. You can just dive straight into 5 people, get a kill on somebody, and then they will only proc that Guardian Angel. So this is like the easy part when you play Camille. Once you get your items, then it's pretty hard to mess up, because you just look for the squishies, try to burst them down with your true damage. You get the squishy, then you're going to win the fight. He tried to bait me right here, but I actually have a ton of armor, and I also have that the armor boots, so they're dealing almost no damage. And on top of that, I also have the Zerg's Cage and the Guardian Angel, so that's why these items are so important. But you have so much damage on Camille, but you also need survivability. If you don't have that, then it's not going to help you at all in teamfights, because even if you are damaged, then people will one-shot you. But with a balanced build like this, you have a ton of damage, you also have a ton of survivability, so you don't need to be scared of anyone, you can just run them down. You're just using the buffed off minions to go for the end here. They're gonna struggle a lot with wave clearing these. You can also recall if you want to, we do have the teleport up. Just like that, straight up dive into 5 people, because we have the Guardian Angel revive mechanic, so that's why I really like to have this item on a lot of champions. Because you can go for stuff like this, and if you do get the kill, then your team is going to clean up. We can build pretty much whatever we want to, just get some more damage. But that was the video, of course. I hope this was helpful. As always, see you guys in the next one.